We got in the match when it was 0-1. Which is Manchester United versus? Which is the other one? Okay, that is not important. It's Bayern Munich. So Ole Gunnar was only a substitute, but he did change, I think with a headshot or something. He was the person who was instrumental in winning that championship for his team. You're aware of that, right? Ole Gunnar. Like that, Priya ma'am called me as a substitute for someone else. Meaning, she was intending to call someone. So like Ole Gunnar, he was kind of, after that it was no back thoughts in terms. So he did well, and he's very, yeah, you don't watch football, right? Probably I should have taken something in cricket, but this was a very interesting shot which I liked, so I thought I'll pitch it. Similarly, let me see. Don't expect a very, very generic how do I communicate or with whatever interaction which is picked up. Don't expect a very normal HR address. Let me pre-flow my thoughts. Certain things could be from my experience. Certain things could be from expectation, probably. And certain things are an outcome of my discussion with various academicians, etc. So let me do my level best to see some thought or trigger or insight to inspire you. So that's what I am hearing. So when I spoke with Dr. Priya, I asked her whether, ma'am, I will send a Google form for her survey. You have your mobiles with you, right? Okay, I was a little doubtful whether you have a mobile or not. I wasn't sure. I said I'll send a Google form for questions. So that is normal of me. So when I kind of try to address the academics or some other places when I'm called to, that is very interesting habit which I've cultivated from long back. I try to take some surveys with many people, myself. Once I addressed for some women cause. So there I try to, take the inputs and what they think from, shop vendors on the platform for women who are there, and some women auto drivers, some women career holders in various runs, organized and unorganized. So I do that some thought process, because when I come and talk from what I've seen, you would have more or less information is abundant. Information is no more a wealth. So how you data mine and how you reflect and how you understand and then take it forward matters. So information is available abundant. So when I talk to these people, there is a different kind of synergy or thought process which occurs. So I try to represent those information. Usually that is the style which I do when I represent students. It takes a lot of time, but it is interesting. But in your case, what happened? Am I going fast or am I okay? Unfortunately, this is not a place where you can fast forward, or you can do the 1x, 2x, 1.5x speed, which I usually do when I listen to my audiobooks. So please stop me if you have any questions, or if I'm going faster. So when I asked the questions with my few people before I could get on the Google questions or thing, 40% of my batchmates are into academia. My father, he's a doctor. He's also he was teaching the medical college students for a stint in Coimbatore. My sisters are MPhil and PhD who are into academia. One in engineering, one in primary school. So the way they were coming out with questions, I was a little taken aback. Oh my God! So teachers need so many questions. Yes or no? You are yawning and they are very silent. I'm very surprised. Ma'am, maybe I would have asked Ashra. I should have asked for questions, I guess. Okay. So there were so many questions. Then I thought, Babe, should I circulate a question or should I go ahead as it is? I should have circulated a question. Yes, sir. Yes, Cynthia. Your professors are there and you are saying that. If I am a college student, I would say no. Let us be ourselves and frank. So, how many questions my fellow classmates and I've been in a complete hostel life. So it is not only questions from my daytime, also from LKG till my Jamshedpur stint in XLR, complete it was a hostel. So I know the intensity of questions as a student. There should be some reverberations. You guys are too silent. I'm not getting the thoughts reflected. Yes or no? Please let me hear from you. She's smiling. I would really appreciate you guys. Indians are supposed to be much more vocal and right? So I thought no questions. So there are no questions as it is in terms of the surveys. But still, if you guys are not interactive, I can go ahead and share some thought process which I had, and I can go ahead and take it forward in a very, very monologue manner. So which one do you prefer? I want someone from that class to tell me. Do you want it to be interactive? So will you please answer my questions? Yes. Ma'am, you have such humble and silent, obedient students. I hear not outside, but here they are shocked. Okay, apart from the introduction, what she gave, I was notorious in my college and in my school. Since I was a national player in Kabaddi, and again, it's the most watched sport in India after cricket. It's the second watched sport in India. I still go for guest coaching. So I come late every day after my practice. So I would be made to sit in the last bench. So from childhood onwards, I've been a player. So there is a convenience, right? Whether you're intelligent or whether you're not intelligent, whether you're studious or not, when you sit in the last bench, there is a difference. Yes or no? Some people are silently giggling, but I want to hear that giggle more. Yes or no? Now at least the last benches are intended to me to tell that. Yes or no? So I came first in electronics paper in my UG. So it is not that I'm not studious, but I'm a bit lazy student. How many of you are lazy students here? I love that. Someone is nominating. Please let me hear your nomination. Yes? Or should I ask your HOD about who's the best active student? What is the discussion you are making to tell on this? Right. Okay. Let me start. What is the topic? What is the topic? What is today's topic? Okay, by the way, this is a reading class, so I may see like this. There were many questions that I'm saying that why do you see like this? To be on the safer side, I'm just giving that like this. I can't see through this class like this. I can see only through this class. Just a small alert. Yeah. What is the topic? That is overall. What is the topic? You don't know the topic when you're here, and I'm talking for the past 10 minutes. Very bad. What is the topic? Sad, very sad. And your HOD was also mentioning about the topic. Yes? Okay, you're reading out. That's okay. Please read it out louder. Louder.
Journey from best practice to future practice.
Okay, yes, read me then. Okay, what else is that in there? Journey from best practices to the next practices. Yes. Sorry, louder. Next practices. So the topic is next practices. So I had a PPT, but I was not able to use some technical English. I was not able to present it. You will not miss much, I guess, because I think that is at least one time. What's your name? You. What's your name? Blue color shirt. Next. Your name? Subhash. நான் அப்படி பேசினா ஓகேவா நான் சொல்ல நார்மல் அப்பா பேசுறேன் ஓகே இது நல்லா இருக்கு No, it was a joke or it's something I didn't. This is also love. What is that I told you? Upper pace in the normal or coming in the base right, louder. Sorry? சொல்லுங்க சார் சார் நான் சொல்லிட்டேன் அவங்க இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன்லாம் மறந்துடுங்க வாட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஐ ஆம் அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லிட்டேன் so be very communicative, be very open. So how do you want the session to be interactive? So when I'm expecting some interaction to happen, I really love to see the interaction. Okay. Okay, now the topic is about next practices, right? So what do you mean by next practices? I don't want to ask the question again because we said it is a futuristic practices, right? So you have the bullet points which are given you. Can someone spell it louder? The bullet points. Okay, the bullet points. That's okay, no problem. So the topic is journey from best practices to next practices. What does that ring a bell? Does it ring a bell to you? Does it ring a bell to you? Yes, no? What if it rings a bell, what do you relate to it when I say next practices? Okay. See, every year when we sit through the campus interviews for the past at least 15 years or more, I can see a phenomenal readiness levels with respect to the student community is concerned, and also with the guidance of the professors. From what are the normal interview questions, right? That they come and sit in the. How many of you have done engineering? I think less than 5 people, right, in this group. Engineering. Did you take a campus? Did you prepare a GED? Did you have a profile? This is my objective. This is my dream. These are the books I read. This is who I follow. This is my aim. Did you do all this stuff? Yes, you can tell me. Did you do all this stuff in engineering when you attended for the GED? Yes. So you all, you have all that ready-made. Yes. Yes. Yeah. We've evolved from that situation to the next situation. So things are changing quite faster. So people are ready with their, what is that expected in the interview question. Everything is available in the click of a button. It's the fingertip. So from there, when you say next practices, I want you to think much more because there is a huge epidemic which is called shallow reading. I need not read through, and I require. I will go. I will not even type. I'll say, "Hey Google," or I'll say, "Siri." Yeah, I would want to, listen to when I say something. If it's something occurs to your mind, please stop me and tell me that. I would really love that. So you need not even type. You can understand what it is happening right from your, whatever it is required, whether birth rate or whether GDP or where India ranks in terms of the global economy. Everything is available with the click of your or with a. You can just call for the answer. Yes or no? So in terms of economies, where do we stand as India? So if you're not answering, then I'll ask questions. So no Googling, please look up no mobiles. Where do we stand? India as economy. 6. So who is first? Who is first? Second is? Third is? Japan. Fourth is? Very good. Fifth is? Sixth is? UK. Who said this is India? It's okay. India is not sixth. We have just, yeah. Someone said sixth, right. So it's better to, stand out rather than, not knowing it. So we have everything information. Information is no more. Now the challenge is about taking a decision based on what is available and what is required for you. Yes or no? See, when I was in second standard, my chitti used to, answer the questions. Okay. Columbus invented dash. I said, I gave the answer. She asked me the spelling for Columbus. So I don't know. You should study. No, I will not. Why you will not? Because there is a question, why should I mug up? So do you see that thought pattern in us of late? Yes or no? Yes? I don't need to study, it is there. Why do I bother my mind? But my friends, please understand. We are a country, we are a generation. We have abundant information, abundant best practices. If you want to get into a career or into another whatever phase of your life, whether it is a shopping or whether it is whatever it is, information is too much. For you to take an informed decision, you need to really go through, sink yourself in various aspects, and then think which is more suitable for you at this point or in terms of futuristic aspects. That's why my topic is called best practices to next practices. In that, I would like to touch upon certain aspects called stay curious. I'm only surprised to see, I didn't see many hands coming up. Maybe if I ask some other cricketer's name or footballer's name, you have. So what is that you guys follow nowadays? When you do not know or when you're not a fan of Dhoni or someone, or you have someone else? Virat Kohli. Yeah, I had that in mind, but I thought Dhoni has much better popularity. Okay. So before I could, so I want you to stay curious, and I will talk on certain aspects of stay contextual, stay relevant, learn to unlearn, but still learn the past to conquer the future. Right? These are the topics which I want to cover. Does it sound any bell to you? Or is there anything apart from that you want? I can add that also. What is your best and worst practice? Why HR jobs are not flashy? What will happen if humans are being replaced with machines? Role of HR in it. HR jobs without much theoretical knowledge, how to handle it. Your perspective towards 2K students. You are inspirational leader. Very normal question here. The normal questions can be answered with different answers. I'll try for that. Okay. I have a question to you. What is that you're looking to make yourself as in the next 2 years?
She asked for water.
That's okay. What is that you're looking to make yourself the next 2 years? Anybody else want to attempt the question? What is it you want to become in the next 2 years? Louder.
Highest package she got.
Where? Ma'am, my question is, what is that you want to make yourself wow? Don't talk about compensation now. Don't talk about all this stuff. What is that you are looking at in the next 2 years to make of yourself? Let me have your answers, please. Someone. You're not looking at anything. You just want to sit in an interview and get selected. Yes. Easier. It's okay. That's also a choice. I don't look down on it. No need to look differently. That's a yes, please. What do you want to? How do you look yourself the next 2 years, sir? Sir, yourself. You pay till that.
Want to be a HR manager.
HR manager. Okay, good. Please be seated. Anyone else? Anyone else? You want to say something? What do you want to be the next 2 years? I want a couple of answers faster, please. Louder. What do you want yourself to be the next 2 years? I will also sit like this and wait. What is that? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
To see myself as an
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Okay. HR manager, entrepreneur. Yes, sir, yourself. Okay. So the question is pass. Only 2 people have a vision for the next 2 years. Ma'am, what do you want to become in the next 2 years? Bank manager. This looks like an answer from the age-old movies. Right, good. I didn't laugh at you. Just recall. So, any other thought process? What do you want to become from 2 years from now on? No? Yes? How many of you are doing first year students? Second year students? Both of them. How many of you there with any companies doing your internships?
Second year students have done their internship.
Okay. Anyone who has done their internship, please, I would want you to put your hands up. What did you do?
I was working in a roof tile company,
Okay.
manufacturing company.
Okay.
It's another.
So wherever it is. What did you learn there?
I learned about production, marketing, and financial.
Okay, good. Yes, you have something to say? Anybody else who attended the internship, you want to mention what is that you learned? What did you like in that entire process? Something which is very interesting, which you want to tell?
About the manpower management, around 230 members were working with the proper synergy and the flow of work.
Okay, good. Okay, now I wanted you guys to answer and think about, if you have not thought about what you want to become in the next 2 years, I really want to listen to it. Because don't restrict yourself from what you want to have, what you want to become, and what is that you really want to do. Have faith in you, and I want you to look at new areas also. How many of you know the story of Mr. Arun Jain, who's the founder of Polaris and current intellect designer? How many of you know about the story? I'm sure you would know about Mr. Narayana Murthy, Infosys, but how many of you know about Mr. Arun Jain? Ma'am, you have such nice students, ma'am. No one is answering. How many of you know about Mr. Arun Jain? Someone is Googling. Even if you Google, please tell me the answer. Sorry? So how many of you have dreams to become something different from a bank manager or a HR manager? Even if it's a bank manager and HR manager, how many of you are interested to do some path-breaking thought process, path-breaking inventions? You have, being an MBA, it is not, when I say invention, it is not about something great. How many of you have read about ID? IDEE, the one which comes in ID pattern, the Idli Dosa Mavu, the Dikashan. So that is also a path-breaking thing, right? Yes or no? Oyo. How many of you have read the book called Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish? No one? I suddenly have a temptation to give a book to all of you. That's a wonderful book. You guys should never miss reading it. Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish is a book. How many of you know Naukri? Who's the founder of Naukri? Naukri founder Teriyada. Sanjeev Bikhchandani. Okay, the story about them is, it is very relevant to the topic what I'm saying. So why I asked you about what is that you want to become yourself in the next 2 years? What is that you know about these founders? Because I want you to think beyond the thought process of what you have, the stereotype thought process. Something is called next practices. What is that next? Don't define yourself into something very, very monotonous. Please be aware of that. Many jobs which are there in the market today will not be there in a very, very short span of period. Whatever jobs today are there, they were not before even 10 years. Yes or no? So don't fall into that same path. Don't fall into that same, thinking which is very, very, with boundaries and limitations. Think beyond that. The book called The Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, I'm sure one of you at least has read this, come across this topic. Nijamave yaru keli padidilya, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. Someone Google and look at it, please. Stay hungry, stay foolish. So that talks about real life situations. How many of you know about Subiksha supermarkets, which was a chain of supermarkets? Subiksha, Naukri, and then there are a set of startups which were started by these IIMs and successful people who were working for quite a long period in their careers or in the initial period of their career. Okay, like what's your name? What's your name? Shobana. Like Shobana, she has got the highest paid job, someone said from the back. Like that, they got very good jobs placed. All these people are, most of them are from the, IIMs kind of a top tier institutes. They got the jobs, well-paid jobs in good MNCs, very good hefty salaries, etc. But there was a calling beyond that they wanted to become. They took a risk. And that is the story which says, stay hungry, stay foolish. Even if, see, some thought process which when you do, it may be ridiculed at this current status quo. And particularly, I have been in companies which are 137-year-old company, which are 60-year-old company. I've been in such companies. And I'm very proud that in one of the companies, which was 135 years old company, I brought in the performance management system in media companies. So much of question, you'll be ridiculed. You'll be asked many times, what is that? Why? So far, I've been like this. So this is what I've heard so many times, but still I went ahead and did certain things which were not at all in practice. So look for next practices, and I will talk a bit on the stay curious and stay relevant. I want to touch upon those two areas from my own experience in a couple of places. So, ma'am, do you celebrate Women's Day in your company? So, what everybody does that right now. This is by 2005. 2005, when I was in a normal, when I say normal, not higher in the hierarchy. I was a lead L&D and in a manufacturing company. I was asked, I said, sir, there is an expectation to do Women's Day. So, what will you do? I said, I'll think about it and come. And when I came back, sir, I want to do something, but I need your support. This is to my GM HR by then, GM HR and IR. He said, no budget, ma'am. I don't like this fancy, engagement probably is not a big terminology frame by that time, I think. It could have been in the market, but he said, if you want to do something meaningful, I'm there here to support. Otherwise, I'll not support. That is what he told me. I of course, like what you guys are now, I wanted to do, something different, and everybody is doing a Women's Day in IT companies. Let us also do a Women's Day. That was a proper South Indian manufacturing company, Korean manufacturing company. We have very, very feeble number of women employees. I said, go budget, ma. You are not coming out with your thoughts. Okay, but for the intent of coming and asking me, because he is like, head of HR and IR for a 10,000 plus organization, since I appreciate your, initiative of coming and asking me, I'm okay to give, but no budget since you don't have any plans. You just can't copy what is there in the industry, which is not relevant to me. I just went back. And then I thought a bit more on what I want to do. Okay, giving a rose, giving a chocolate, this everybody does. To be very frank with you, even I did for 1 or 2 years after that, because it was a ritual which was happening. There was expectation set, which is of no meaning for me to be asked. If you ask me personally, but I don't want to mock at someone's belief of giving it. It's fine. It's a big good factor. Like Diwali comes, you give a sweet. It's fine. Like that, it's fine. But what is that it can really make a difference? I went and thought a lot more. I'm being a player. I always have that intent to pass on that doing some exercise in some form, some passionately doing something. I always had that urge. I saw. I mean, almost 100% of them are not into any form of any kind of exercise. Though they were into 20 plus and 30 plus, they were not into any form of exercise. So I designed a program, Women's Day program, which was which had an aerobics and 1 or 2 fun elements. But the main part, what I wanted to do and what I did, it still goes as a practice there. I introduced a medical checkup, very specific for women of that age group. I went into the demography of how many of them are there, what would be relevant to them. I did a medical checkup. And to my surprise, by 2005, when I introduced this, my boss immediately said, good. Initially, he heard my plan and he understood that. He said, what is your intent? He only asked the intent. He didn't ask me what I want to do. He asked me the intent. So why did it occur to you? So when I said these things, he really appreciated. I said it was okay if you give me around 50%. I've spoken to Apollo for health checkup. Of course, it's no everybody reads everything. We specified mammography, we did pap smear, we did calcium levels. So now today after COVID, I see a lot of awareness in terms of medical do's and don'ts and awareness in terms of various other things. 2004, they did not even understand what a HP count is. How many of your mothers probably will know that? Now after COVID, there is a tremendous amount of information available. People get pushed into a corner to understand and know and learn it by stress. Maybe I had the opportunity. My father is a doctor and he's in a hospital, and all those stuff gave me a very easy to understand situation. And by being a curious nature, I understood. But then I didn't know that there is something called pap smear. I didn't know that there is something called calcium levels for all this stuff. I didn't know. So people who are listening, I have a question to you. I really am expecting at least 1 or 2 people to answer this question. Why am I explaining this question and this aspect to you?
Make a path breaking.
Louder.
Make a path breaking the decision or the thing which we denied.
That's not path breaking also, but still think of what we can value add. Just don't fall prey for this, something which is very, very superficial and which is ornamental. Just go deep into it. Yes or no? Of course, I did the same thing in Brexit also. Now we have a complete Women's Day. We did a complete health checkup. When I said health checkup, we did a very again the demography was different in Brexit. I introduced the same thing here. So now I have 300, 200 plus employees. They know their HP count today, and we have also doctors, resident doctors who gave them the consulting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what you are to. This is what you need to know. Good or bad? Good or bad? So it's very common sense, right? It's very, very common sense. But people who are coming for, who are diploma holders, who got their blood tested, there's an awareness level. One girl came and said she did that for her parents and grandparents also. Once she saw that her levels were less, that gives a satisfaction. Yes or no? So how many of you want to do such things, or you just want to do something which is very much followed in the industry and very much which is still, successful one. Which path you want to take? It's okay. Taking a time-tested path is also okay. Because one can't keep doing the innovations every day, and there has to be a balance on what you want to produce. Like I said, of course we gave a rose, of course we gave a chocolate, and I was only trying to say, no, let us give sugarless or let us give some nativity chocolate, something like that. Now every one company is there to think of all these stuff. So this question which is there, which is also very much relevant to what she is saying, human will it be replaced? What will happen if humans are replaced? Ma'am, is it by students or students? The machines, role of HR. So what do you think, friends? Do you think that we will have humans are, you don't have a place to do the work? Yeah? Yes, sir. Yeah. Then what will happen? Okay.
Day-to-day basis work.
So you are a HR specialization or marketing?
Marketing and
Business analytics. Wonderful. So who else have an idea about it? So what will happen for the human beings without jobs? What will happen? See, I have not got any PhDs like your professors, and I have not come here doing research on what will happen. I'm also, part of maybe some groups which talk more on this. Any thought process, any idea? Okay. Small question. You know what is the idea of? It's a bit out of the context. Why do we have the railway lines with whatever measurement which we have now, broad gauge or narrow gauge? What is the basis of that? When we introduced railway lines, why did we have, okay, this is the measure of two wheels. Why did we do that?
to make it common all over the camp to make the lines.
Okay, it has to be common and standardized, fine. But how did the thought arrive?
Taking the compartment will be.
No, that's not the answer. Anybody else? But I appreciate your intent. You've answered at least the maximum questions to my. I would like to know your name. Sai Amrit. Any other person? Why? Don't Google, just tell me. If you don't know, it's fine. Just a rough guess. Even if it is wrong, it's fine. Yes, please. Any rough guess. I want even a wrong answer. It's not a problem. Please tell me. It's very, very stupid and simple answer. Okay, your name is? Wherever we left the topic, you'll have to put me there again. Yeah, what is the reason of we left when human, whether it will replace this? So what is the, any thought on this? If I tell you the answer, it will be very, very silly actually.
Maybe British maybe.
British or whoever. When railway lines were designed, they thought the distance before the railways, what was the mode of commuting?
Roadways.
What is that in roadways?
How cut?
Kara.
Bus.
Cow
carts. Cow carts.
Bullock carts or horses. Now you have the answer. Shobha, you have the answer? Shobha. Shobhana. So I remember the answer. So there was a reference point of the distance between the back of the bullock, the ox, அது ரெண்டு நடுவுல உள்ள என்ன டிஸ்டன்ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து they have taken it for the train railway track. Yes. So that's a common thing. You can browse it and see. You will get it in Wikipedia or Google. There is someone who's ready to give. But believe me, all which is available on the internet, there are a lot of mistakes. I wanted to also caution you guys. There are websites which have mistakes. When you go and refer the Google or when you go and refer, please be very, very specific about, you cross check. I think you guys will do, but still. So where was I? Yeah. So why did I say the bullock cart? So there was a transition from bullock carts to trains. Yes. So did all the bullock cart drivers lose their jobs? Now we don't have many bullock carts except for one or two in the roads. What are they doing now? After, okay, not now. Then when the bullock carts were non-existent, what did they do?
Switching to other jobs.
What jobs? Railway jobs. Okay. Then. And that part is very, very silent. Maybe the dice, it's not there, I guess. What did they do? See, what I want to say is, so when bullock carts are replaced, but it's an evolution. We keep, inventing. That's a mankind, right? From whatever to whatever when we transition, there is always, there are different jobs which are available. So there were drivers. There were people who switched to different jobs. It is not that jobs are. When drivers, now we are also talking about drivers are being replaced, yes or no? Right? From bullock carts to trains to whatsoever, and buses to autos to public transport, to cabs, what we have now. So you think job is gone? Does it replace a human? So in some form or other, it will be there. But, so what is the level of understanding we need to have? See, when I want to become a driver, I can just get a driving license and understand and be a driver. But having done the MBA, don't you think that you need to really think much more inclusively, much more in a better ground of looking at? Because see, when we do something, it touch many people's lives, yes or no? In marketing or in HR and data analytics, whatever you do, when you get into management, your circle of influence, your circle of control goes beyond, beyond you, and it also benefits or damages many other lives, yes or no? So, did I answer your question? No? Whose question was that? I would like to understand the name of the person. Okay, now I will give a peep into the corporate challenge. Biggest challenge is, what do you think the biggest challenge in corporate is today? Any one of you, please. I will start with HR, then go to marketing, then come to data analytics. These are the three people who are there in this room. What is the biggest challenge in HR?
Employees switching the company.
That's going to be the norm of the day. That's no more a big challenge. I have to live with that, right? Fine. I know how to live with that. There will be a cycle period. Yes. It is a challenge, I'm not denying. Okay. What are the other challenges? I want two more challenges.
To handle employee and their needs.
Louder? Employee?
To handle employee and their needs.
Handle employee will be with it. It's very much, in today's world is basic hygiene. Many of your things are basic hygiene. Like, okay, employee needs. I'll come back to you on that. What are the other things? One is switching jobs, attrition. Another is employee needs. Okay, anyone from marketing? Louder, please. யாருமே சொல்லலையே. Why louder? Yes, please. Marketing. இப்ப HR students தான் சொல்றாங்க, நீங்க ஆன்சரே சொல்லலையே. What is this?
Customer loyalty.
Louder. Customer
Loyalty.
loyalty. Who said that? Name? Vignesh. I'll say attrition side. I'll say attrition. That's your thing. Pooja. Okay. Customer loyalty. Okay. Then, ma'am, how long I kind of, when did I start? I didn't know. You tell me in case till 12. Okay. Customer loyalty marketing. Okay, marketing is I think not answering much. They have only one point. We move to data analytics. Marketing, how many of you? Please put your hands up. Please put your hands up. Marketing. Brand image. Sorry, yaar marketing. Please put your hands up. Only very few marketing. Okay. Brand image and customer loyalty. Okay. Very good. Only two. I'll put what is that? Brand image, customer loyalty, consumer behavior. Fantastic point. Okay. Out of my students, I was also head of HR branding. Now we talk a lot about employee value. I'm sure it will be interesting. It passes on from there to there to there. It is not gone beyond that. The chain is broken there. It's okay. So I've also been in one of my stints. It's a new role which was created and joined. It's called HR head of HR branding. I was louder. Something was said there. It's interesting, but it's interesting to know. Okay, anyway. Data analytics. What is the challenge you guys you say? Louder? Huh? Loading up. Prediction? Predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is a challenge. That's one way of doing analysis. Data management. It's a very huge term, sir. We have gone data mining, data analysis, and that's fine. But predictability is a challenge you say. Tools the challenge are human predictability the challenge. Guys, you can also listen to it. I think data analytics is not just on one specialization. It is there in almost all the disciplines. Louder, please. Thanks. Product or rate. Got it. Understood. That actually, if you ask me, that's not a big challenge. Anyway, that's a good point in terms of your the maturity of the data analytics has actually made it nothing. It is able to create your data analytics, right? First year, okay. Any data analytics student? How many of them? Put your hands up. Who are the data analytics? Yeah, put your hands up. And you want a commercial break or what? Okay, how many of you are data analytics students? Only 3. I remember seeing 32, 36, HR 20 people. Okay, anyway, data analytics student. Okay. See, consumer behavior. Okay, you are saying the challenge in terms of predictive analytics, right? Predictive analytics. Only one challenge in terms of data analytics. You don't have any? Advanced technology is a challenge. I don't want the technology, one more. Technology is a challenge and what angle? Okay. Okay. Is that what you're saying? Sir, I want all of you to listen to him, not to have other conversation. Louder, please. Okay, we have mind-boggling technologies. There is no dearth in technology. Okay, I'll tell you one of my experience. Okay, I'll go in reverse from what we spoke now. Okay, I think you can you are not a data analytics student, I guess. You're a data analytics student. Yeah, Anna, fantastic, yeah. I've been talking here for the past 30 minutes, and you got all the claps. Okay, good. So, when I was asking for the data analytics, hands up, you didn't raise your hands, I guess. Hey, you have a you don't get into data analytics. You are a people person. Anyway, data analytics there in HR also. Anyway, good. Good, at least I'm able to hear that energy here. See, whenever I go to campus, I expect a lot of energy in terms of the students. Young people with a lot of energy. We deal with people, they 60 years, 80 years. Okay, when we come to the campus, whenever we expect a lot of response. I really wish I really like the way you actually that they are all good. Anyway, coming back to the point of technology, it is there more and it is simply mind-boggling. How many of you read the small? I don't ask me the names. I didn't register in my mind. There are around some 220 million pictures are being taken on about Earth. Did you read that? Anybody? Someone read it? No? Okay, there was a case in point where we have a lot of pictures about space, but we didn't have any about the Earth. So, okay, maybe I'll forward that small clipping to ma'am. Probably she can share it with you. I guess maybe you can have a group, WhatsApp group or something. So, one of the guys, he did a wonderful breakthrough, saying that we can take. So there are multiple satellite cameras which are surrounding the Earth. Be very careful; they just take a lot of pictures, right? So this is a recent breakthrough, right? So technology is there, and which is going to become much more cheaper as we move. Currently, probably you look at robotics or you look at the various aspects which are much, we think it's an entry stage, but no, people are like, the startups are immediately getting funded and immediately they are moving to the next stage. I myself, probably in one of the groups in IIT, I was IIT Madras. I was part of the mentorship programs for one of the startups. A few startups are there. So then there is a potential. When there is a potential, it is not like earlier times. It will take time. It is getting to the market in no time. So we have seen such one of the projects which took up very immediately and efficiently, and which was taken up by the government is one of the students designed the face recognition system for the attendance for the government schools. See, actually, he designed it in a very different manner, but it was taken up. It was the commercial viability, etc., was put through, and it was taken up by government. Now it is in a huge scale. See thought to standardization and scaling up. The standardization and scalability are there in the seeding stage itself. That is the speed in which technology is moving ahead. I didn't get your name. I hope you understand what I'm saying. The tools, probably it is there, sir. One example I will say. In one of the fintech organizations, there is a very awesome. I developed, when I say I developed, I use the help of the technology and I developed the HR chatbot. It took around 40+% of the time what my team was spending in regular query resolution. But suddenly that guy felt like what you are saying, ma'am. Many of the queries are being answered by the chatbot, and it is a very small bot. It's a very limited area of what it was doing, in fact. Okay, I'll give you the perspective of what the bot was doing. The technology is huge, but what I want to do is very small. When you get into a bot, designing a bot, it needs they call it intents, and the number of samples what it needs is huge. It should run in millions. But I had only out of 5,000, and my sample size, my business in which I was doing the bot was only for 1,500 people. When I did the soft launch, I said I do for only one particular project. Then I wanted a bigger database, so I went for 1,500 people and we developed a bot. The what I see is reverse. The technology is huge. For me to operate with a small sample size was limiting, because how does it work? The chat engine needs lot of samples to get more near to the accuracy. So of course, I was in touch with my ex-colleagues in Airtel and Aether and Swiggy, because they deal with the millions of questions and queries. They have the chatbot. They are pioneers in terms of how a chatbot should behave in the market, etc., etc. Shobana is busy now itself. She got into induction, I guess. So technology is there, but how do I exploit the technology is something which you guys should really think about. Whether you use it or not, the usage will come to you automatically. Right. Second challenge is about. Did I answer your question, or you want to negate the answer? Hey, I think there is a one group which you have said for yourself. Whatever he said, everybody is clapping for that. Now, there are something one way I agree with you. One way I agree with you, because I give a small perspective of my experience. I'm a journalist HR, and I've been into very specifically when I look for tools in learning and development, or tools in terms of my performance management system, tools in terms of, when I say tools, it's a technology. Tools in terms of MIS, specific MIS. I really find a dearth in terms of technology which could talk the way or which could behave the way I would want to. We still face a issue. I think you may have addressed in that aspect, but when I look back, it is there in various aspects. How do we crack it matters more. So, for example, ma'am, I have 7 more minutes, I guess. No problem. No. I didn't know whether it was. So, how did it? Certain things comes as a challenge. Certain things I would have done in the past. I'm just reading back. It's a trigger for your question. Currently, in terms of my organization, the reporting structure in any manufacturing organization, the reporting lines are long. When I say that, this is called the line of control. Do you get that terminology, HR students? What is the line of control? Chain of command. Good. HR. Anyway, fine. Yeah, due to the nature of the job or nature of the industry for itself, an auto component organization which I represent, the reporting lines are huge. So end of the day, the last mile delivery matters more. So there is no chance that I can remove. There is a big challenge still we are going through. If you look at the software which could address, when I do the performance management system, to bring all the lines of 6 lines, 7 lines of reporting will also be there in manufacturing. So of course, organizations are delaying, but in terms of, I have done at least 3 to 4 kinds of org redesign. So whether a divisional or geographical or product-based organization, I have redesigned a couple of places in manufacturing and in fintech and in services organization. I have done this redesigning. So why I'm talking about redesigning, why I'm talking about the line of command, the technology faces a bit of challenge in terms of adapting to what I require. Now the software which is available says you cut your feet to fit into my to my shoes. Okay, when I look back, there is something else more than that we need to crack. When we started a HR chatbot as a project, of course it was given to someone else, or one of my colleagues, and my boss said no. Probably he didn't like me. He said, "I'll give the toughest project, which will not get completed," and he gave it to me. Not now, before 3 years or so. That was around 10 lakhs of budget was there for that project. Okay, and that's a fintech company, but I was able to build it with a zero budget. How did I do it? By talking. You have everything in the internet. What the technology I need to use, what is the machine language. I have a technology team with me, but there was a challenge in terms of fitting myself or finding the solution in the available solutions. How many of you do online shopping? All of you do online shopping. You have all these things in this website, right? But how do you reach what you want? Search and search and search and search. How intelligent you search will matter. So of course, what I was able to do was get in touch with the technology partner who is still, I think she's still in ITEL. So they are one of the pioneers in terms of the chatbots. Swiggy is one of the pioneers. So I was in touch with them. So what we did is we tried to build a native chatbot, which is not working because I don't have the huge. I don't know whether I'm boring too much on this or you're getting something. I don't know. I'm not getting the usual white villa. So cutting the chase short, we shifted the chatbot to a different model. He said we will do drop down. So I found the answer for my challenge in terms of using the technology was we did a drop down menu. This is not now. Before 5 years, I did build the HR chatbot. And we developed something in-house with zero budget, and we did the project successfully, and it was also replicated in one of the client, one of the banks later on. Same technology. So what I'm trying to say in this is, we have technology, but how do we understand? My HR friends, particularly, and I'll come to marketing. HR friends, particularly, the dearth of technology is not going to help you. The tech savvy has to be there. The tech savviness is. Yeah, tech savviness is something which is very, very important. And moreover, see, when I talk to students, the way I approach is different. When I talk to my technology guys, the way I approach is different. When I talk to my marketing guys, it is very different. So you talk to them in their language, you probably get a response. You make them understand what you want. So that is one challenge probably in data analytics. There are enough and more tools which are also getting, I think, in terms of SAP BI also. It's also had a lot of updates, and then they replaced and they added it with Tableau, right? Later on, they added Tableau with it. Even before Tableau, I was looking for something like that. So probably it is all coming or it is in the making. So how do we reach them? How do we, connect with them? How many of you have seen that joke which says this is what client required, and this is what finally we gave? How many of you have seen that? A swing picture. How many of you relate to it? I can very well relate to it. The client would have asked a small swing, a wooden palagaina or swing, a wooden plank swing. But what was understood by the initial the software, it's called SRMIST software requirement specification document, and what was communicated to the developer, and what was tested, and what was in the software lifecycle development, whatever. The way the information gets damaged or enhanced, and finally what you get. That's the challenge. So probably you move more nearer to what is required. You don't just rely on what is there in the Googling or whatever places. Get more get yourself drenched with the concept. How many of you heard about the Supandi story? You know Supandi story. Good. Tinkle Digest. Yes. I have said yes. The way you're pointing, it looks like it looks like Supandi. You read Supandi? Why did you point your finger to him? Anyway, see, okay. Is there anything which I left off? I reminded you. Okay, I'll quickly go through employee needs adjustment and attrition. Sir, attrition, what can you do? I think these two questions I would like to answer in a single answer. See, we do a lot of engagement. Whatever was called employee satisfaction became engagement. Now, engagement, I don't know what will it be called later. Right? End of the day, the basic needs in terms of various aspects of an employee, it's all taken care. Beyond that, what is employees requiring? Right? The of course the most used and most not understood terminology is well-being. Right? Again, I want to quote one of my experience. I did bring in Crush, one of the organization compliment. It is again 2005, no, 6. And again in 2018, again I brought in some of such aspects. And of course, continuously I've been doing such things. What is employee well-being? What is employee well-being? What is well-being, first of all? Let us know the employee tag. No. Okay, I'll answer it in two terms. Attrition is going to be there. Whether it will be gig working, I know latest Infosys has come out with one saying that if it is not conflicting, if it is discussed with HR, we are ready to take it up. Something as I read it. Of course, Infosys CHR worker Shankar is one of the mentor and he's my alumni, and I've also worked with him in Bharti as well. He has this speed in his work. So the moment I don't like the word moonlighting though. It's easy to refer to. The second employment, of course, in manufacturing, I don't think we will have to find an answer or figure out an answer as we move. But Infosys has come out with such a statement saying that we are figuring it out. Because in other countries it is prevalent. Only in India we are looking at various aspects. Why is it only in India we are looking at it? In a very, very, as if it is very wrong thing to do. Why do we look at it like that? Okay. Employee attrition is going to be there. How do you manage attrition? How do you manage the skilling? How do you manage the intellectual network of what a person contributes to an organization as a person? How do you make it immune to the attrition is what an organization need to look at as a HR or as a line manager. That is the answer for that. And ways of modes of retaining. I'm not looking at a way of retaining. I'm looking at a way of how do I ensure that a person coming to my place for work, what are the well-being activities? It is not about providing a bus or it is not about providing canteen anymore. And I don't think the bus and canteen aspects will stay for a longer time. It's all mutating. The requirements of well-being is all mutating. And what is the well-being meaning from my angle? There is a book called Well-being, I guess, by Tom Rath. Please go and read the book. Now, everyone is inventing different well-being for themselves. Spiritual well-being, career well-being, social well-being, physical well-being, career well-being. So there are multiple well-being. Keeping the jargon ahead. Why is it so tough in India to look at people, employees with 2 or 3 jobs? Why? Any idea? So okay, anyway, I represent Breaks India. It doesn't mean that Breaks India is also doing. This is my own view. I'm just wanting you to think about it. Why is it so difficult in India about thinking about this? You don't have any messages, I guess. I'm able to see them here. I have a good vision for a long time, long or short time, whatever. Yeah, why is it difficult in India? Just roughly. Faster, please. Faster, please. Why is it very difficult in India for 2 employments? No idea? No idea? Louder? Population. Work-life balance, yes. What is work-life balance? Correct, work-life balance is correct. Population is also indirectly correct. I can't deny it. Traffic, fantastic, you're nearing to it. Next. You mean is China does not have traffic? Next. Anything else? No, it will not be there in the Google. Anything else? See, how many of you have elderly parents to take care of? No one? How many of you have elderly parents to take care of home? No one, huh? Fantastic, yeah. Good. I think they should also be quite young. Anyway, how many of you are staying here alone in your PG or hostel or alone? Put your hands up, yeah. How many of you have pets at home? Staying alone. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I think you need to think a bit beyond from your comfort zones or whatever currently you are going through. All you guys are lucky because I see that all of you are either from home or from PG or nearby. Yes, sir. Something interesting? Yes. That's okay. Please tell. Okay. See, when employees are coming, what is the age group of employees? Somewhere around 22 or 22, 23, right? 22, 23, 40. Won't they have elderly parents to take care? Yes. There is an article on such social changes which are happening and which is stressful for the employees. He is somewhere standing in the line for his parents to give the medical care. There is somewhere who's taking care of a pet because that's a bigger trend which we have copied from the Western world because most of the developed countries, they don't have a big family setup. But we are still in a bigger family setup and they went for pets to kill their loneliness and as humans we need to give love. So probably, I select a pet or I select pets to maintain and, to quench that emotional requirement of a human being. But many of you would be, pet enthusiasts or whatever you say. But there are a lot of places where you need to give caring in terms of your elderly care, in terms of child care. Yes or no? So organizations probably what I think from my angle when you say employee needs have changed much. So how far the future could be in terms of traffic and the lines which are being in terms of commuting, etc. Do you know that Chennai also has a equally abusive air quality? It is available in your Airtel app in case you have apps. You have apps which will say that air quality. I'm switching from here to there because employee needs are very, very different. There was a survey done by Mercer. The survey which says this what I'm talking about last year to last year, no, before the pandemic. What is the preference for the employees to pick a city or pick a job? Sorry? People are even open to working non-metros nowadays. That's what I'm saying. Be more in touch with in Mercer. How many of you have data analytics, guys? I want you to look at. Let me know where do you go for your data? Where do you go for your data analytics, guys? Louder. Huh? Because sir. Then where else? Where else do you go? Data analytics, guys. Facebook. Data analytics, I'm asking. Data. If I want to know how many households are there, if I want to know how many, age group demographics, if I want. Fantastic. Indian website. Indian statistics and World Bank statistics. They have fantastic data. Let us not get into the argument of this data is fudged or this data is not fudged. Accurate data, I'm not getting into it. But in the government side and in the statistics control side, you have wonderful data. For you to look at the demographics and for you to get nearer to what the employee needs. Okay, coming back to the Mercer survey, they have included something called air quality. You believe it or not, the air people when they are shifting jobs, they are looking at air quality, they are looking at standard of living. Quality of living is better in Chennai comparatively to what is in Mumbai or in Gurgaon. Cost of living, of course, everybody is in a competition to get into that cost of living. But when we get near the employee needs, what is actually required. No, I have some set of best practices. We give this, we give that. Yes, fine, fantastic. But what is required for you? I have everything in the menu, but that will not answer what you require. Yes or no? So probably, of course, in one of the companies I work, we even had a this is before 7 years or so. We even had a laundry room in the office, which is a very common thing in Google or which is a common thing in other MNCs. But in Indian companies, we have to look at various aspects which are very much near to what is required by the employee. So well-being, there are different kinds of well-being. Look at the demography and see what is required. And it could be a fight for you to bring in. People may or may not like it, but educate them. If you want to just go and say, ma'am, your entry count is less, people are not going to accept you. We go and say, no, you're obese, they are not going to accept you. We did a competition in terms of bringing in the awareness to maintain a healthy lifestyle. We did it in a very different manner. So that is part of the Airtel Delhi half marathon which we did in Airtel. So you can't certain things you can't do it straight, but you probably solve it a different way. How many of you didn't understand? Right. So you probably need to tell them in a different manner. So I think HR aspects, what I told you, brand image, customer loyalty, and customer behavior. My friends in marketing, a humble request. HR marketing, we are also going hand in hand in terms of employee value proposition. When I talk about the organization, be more authentic, be more giving the aspect of what it is, what the reality is. Recently, I did recruit a person from PwC to into the organization, but I was pretty ruthless in saying this is what it is. I made one of the person move from Gurgaon to Chennai, but I personally gave her or him the reality of what is this in working in a manufacturing, South Indian manufacturing auto component organization. If it is in Hyundai, if it is in Daimler, if it is in Renault Nissan, the culture is different, right? They are all OEMs. What is an OEM? Original equipment manufacturer. Thank you so much. So if it's an OEM, I'm into B2C, right? What is B2C? Fantastic. So my margins are different. When I do a retail selling, my margins are different. But when I'm in a B2B, an auto component organization like Palio or Next India or Mando, whatever, my margins are very less wide because I'm in a B2B, right? So my salaries are also very different and my culture is very different, right? So marketing and HR friends need to be more people who say fact is a fact as much as possible. It is very, you may look at me very differently from a HR point of view. Yes, I have done brand surveys in many colleges, including IRMA, which is in Gujarat, various other colleges in terms of MBA colleges, where we have done a brand survey to understand what the student mentality is and what is the brand recall for one of my organization. When I did a survey, I was able to understand what the perception of a corporate is in terms of the students. So all the more it is important when you are coming out of the colleges, just ensure that you call spade a spade. I think this your set of people are very much you don't hesitate to voice out or you're vocal. But what is missing is you are not knowing what is the prevalent aspect. You don't go by Google. Go more in touch in terms of the brand image. Don't fall for the brand image. Today we have uncle days, auntie days, we have father days, we have mother day, we have all days. But what are we saying? It is all some jargon created by someone to increase the Akshaya Tritiya. Everything is it's all gimmick. But I request you to sincerely look at what is that the USP which I need to sell to people. So I didn't hesitate to tell my person moving from Gurgaon to Chennai. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4 aspects. Think about before you take. I want you. You will have a lot of challenges. But these are the things. Similarly, in terms of the brand image, when you build a brand image or when you look at the loyalty, people come to you very, very openly when you have this, transparency. Is there anything else which is a question which I want to, which you want me to answer? I think stay contextual is one of the topic which I told you. I think I covered it. Anything else apart from that? Do you have any questions? More than happy to answer. Was it interesting at all, or was it a ramble? Be open. Start from here. How many of you are first generation graduates? Postgraduates? How many of you are first generation becoming an MBA or doing a post graduation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Okay, literacy level is nothing to do with this. This is somewhat data in terms of people taking higher education. Any questions? Any questions? I want to complete with one small story. Before questions, you discuss, right? You can straightly ask me if you have questions. If I know, I'll tell you. If I don't know, probably I'll try and get the answer and pass it on to your hand. This is a Supandi story. I will finish the story. This is a Supandi story. Yes, sir. Sir, it's only a story. So, Supandi, all of you would have read it. I think this story you might have also known. When a guest comes home, Supandi brings the water, and then the guest, the person says, "Please bring the water." He will bring the water and give it to him. He said, "No, please keep it in a plate and bring him. It is all neat too." Then and he said, "Yes, okay." Then he goes back and says, "Can I have my slippers?" Sorry, it looks a bit old-fashioned, but still. Can I have my slippers? He kept it in the plate and he brought it. You've studied this joke, right? You guys read Tinkle or no? I still read Tintin. I still read many of such comics. So he brings it in a plate and gives the slippers. So please stay more relevant. What has been a best practice yesterday may completely be stupid practice for the futuristic generation. Yes? And I think you should also be aware of the induction meaning orientation program story, how many of you have heard about the story? Orientation. Induction program which is being given to an employee. Nobody knows. I'm surprised, yeah. A person joins an organization and he'll be taken to nice places, all interesting. You know that answer. You know the story. Anybody who knows the story? No one knows the story. So that's a nice one. What is that? Yes, please tell me. Sai, please tell me. Okay, in an induction program, a set of people like you who join an organization fresh. So they'll be taken to all organizations, all PPTs, they'll be given tour, and they'll be taken to good hotels, put in, and they'll be taken to institute. I used to take them to Mahabalipuram when they used to travel from other places, from north, south, west, where they come. We take them to Mahabalipuram, show everything, take them to shop floor, everything. Like that, they will go through an induction program, and then he will be taken to all nice things, etc., etc. It is like completely like heaven what he goes through. Once the induction program is over, he will be, sent to the lift will go to the 11th floor, which this guy every time when he went for induction, he would have not gone. He goes to the 11th floor, and then from there he'll be asked to go to the another place, which is the underground, from 11th to underground. So that looks like not heaven, that looks like hell, right? So yes, no, you showed something else in your video, in your corporate movies, when you get for a placement, pre-placement talk, you showed this, that. Oh, that is only an induction program. No, this is the real work. So that looks like a hell. Guys, that is what it means in terms of the real corporate life is something which you guys have not gone through. I don't want to say it's a hell, but the actual actual working conditions or actual working expectations and contributions are much different. Don't fall for these jargons. Just get in touch with what is required for the end customer in terms of the HR or the end customer also in terms of branding or analytics. You will really be able to crack what is required. All the best. If you have questions, you had a question, right? You don't treat it like that. Was this sleeping or what? In breaks, India. Last week you be more open. Okay, you be more, you. The others don't want to take up that question. Okay. It's a company with more than 13 plus plants. So you got to be a bit more understanding about the working culture of what it is, plant and then corporate. And Brakes India, of course, it's a market leader in terms of brakes, and we export to various companies. And we've recently opened a company called Sundaram Composites, which is into again manufacturing. So you need to be more aware of the manufacturing practices and be able to understand, of course, all the tools and information required for what is a balance scorecard or what is a performance management system. It will all be there in your syllabus. So I don't think your syllabus is dearth of the information which you're facing. But understanding the concepts and understanding people will be it is not about sending a message. It's about going and talking in person. It is about standing in the line by 8 o'clock when he gets into the 7 o'clock when he gets onto the line. He should be there. So it's all more human. It is nothing a rocket science. The rest, I think your college or any academics they provide what is what. Of course, tools. Any amount of analytic tools which is recent, please be abreast the technology. And I don't know whether I answered the question, but that's how the manufacturing world behaves. Any other questions? Any other questions? Pooja, you have a question? How many of your players here? How many of your players here in this sport? Short course. What? Badminton. Okay. Thanks for this opportunity and. Next practices, send. I hope I have. Sorry, did I? Hope I was able to seed some thoughts into your minds. As long as you're convinced to ask such questions to yourself and be vocal and open to ask others, question the status quo and take it forward. That's a great success. Hope I was able to at least see or trigger or give some insightful thoughts to you. And all the very best. You can, if you have any questions, you can take on my email ID if you want, or you can take it from your ma'am also, however you want. You can be in touch with me. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the amazing job. Gratitude makes sense of your past, speak for today, and create a vision for tomorrow. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Anto Praveen Singh, Assistant Professor, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Guys, good afternoon. I know it's time. Just 2 minutes, please. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure and time to express my gratitude to each and everyone who have begun the success of the program. It's not easy to arrange any program, guys. And especially meeting a wonderful talent ma'am like this is really a pleasant one. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank God for His blessings, for being with us throughout the whole function. I thank God for this function. Next, my expression of gratitude goes to our resource person, who is Ms.S. Ajitha ma'am. Ma'am, the section was really admirable, intellectual, fascinating, unique, and innovative for all of us. We have learned from you a lot, ma'am. You really triggered us. You really triggered us. On behalf of all present here, I thank you, ma'am. Please give ma'am a big applause. Yes, I have to thank our dean, sir. Even though he's not present, he's watching everything keenly and observing everything. He frequently motivates us. Stimulate us, and command us to do everything in actions. On behalf of all present here, I thank you, sir. Next, my thanks goes to our beloved HOD, Dr. Arumoni, sir. Everyone knows he is a person who is very friendly, very supportive, and also easily approachable in doing all our activities. On behalf of all present here, I thank you, sir. And next, the special appreciation goes to our convener of the program, Dr.